So there was a press conference. We brought that to you earlier today in Louisville, Kentucky, with Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg and the Louisville Metro Police Department Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Villaroel. And the big takeaway from that was that the arresting officer, Detective Gillis, did not have the body-worn camera operationally ready as is required by policy. He has received corrective action in line with disciplinary protocol. There were two cameras that did capture what happened. One was a fixed pole camera. The other came from a police dash cam in a police car. That video has been released, and we'll bring that to you now. This from the fixed pole position, and keep an eye on your upper left. That is Scottie Scheffler's SUV, and you see the gentleman in the yellow jacket. That is Detective Brian Gillis. Appears to be conversation or an exchange of words. Scottie's still inside the car. You can see traffic has come to a standstill. Remember what had happened just after 5, the fatality. So there's just a lot of congestion and confusion and chaos in the darkness and in the rain. And Scottie will exit the car. Again, upper left of your screen. Now he's being led away. That is just outside the entrance to the club at Valhalla, and this is just after 6 a.m. Eastern time on that Friday morning. And so here's a look now from the dash cam inside the police car. There's Scottie on the left of your screen being led away. He's already handcuffed. He was arriving close to 3 hours before the scheduled tee time, but because of the congestion around the fatality, those tee times were moved back. And so this now the statement from the arresting officer, Brian Gillis. While directing traffic in front of Gate 1, the PGA personnel stopped the bus from entering Gate 1. I oversaw a vehicle traveling in the opposing lanes coming at me. I stopped the driver and advised him he could not proceed because of the bus. He demanded to be let in and proceeded forward against my directions. I was dragged, knocked down by the driver. I then proceeded to arrest the driver. Rex Hoggard has been following this story for us. Rex, you just saw the video, as we all did. What do you think?
You still don't get a really good look of exactly what happened when Detective Gillis and Scottie Scheffler first encountered each other. It happened about 6:02 a.m., and now that we have the dash cam footage, we can start connecting a couple of dots. But as you showed just a moment ago, you can't see around the bus that stopped in the middle of the lane. The same for the fixed pole across the street. You get an idea of Scottie taking a left into Valhalla, and of course Detective Gillis catching up with the car, but it doesn't give us a clear idea of exactly what happened. As you just read off that form, that was actually the body cam footage failure to record form. And on that, the detective points out that he instructed him to stop and that Scottie Scheffler, this echoes what he said in the incident report, refused to stop and took the left into the golf club. Now, it's also important to point out that there was 3 separate supervisors who had to sign off on that form. And one of those supervisors, the division commander, did point out how chaotic the situation was, but they still decided that Detective Gillis needed to activate that body cam footage once it escalated into an incident that was going to lead to his arrest.
Todd Lewis with us as well. And Todd, what more can you add?
Yeah, it shows that Scottie Scheffler did turn left into Gate 1. He was actually on the property there when he was arrested. But like Rex said, you don't really see the incident where he was dragged, as he said in the police report. And, you know, the fact that there was no body cam footage, there was some, thinking by some out there following this case that these charges would be dropped because of no body cam footage. And you kind of sense the frustration from Stephen Romines, who is Scottie Scheffler's attorney, that maybe he was thinking that as well. But indeed, that is not the case. The mayor again saying that we have to respect the legal process. We will move forward, in the next step in the legal process is, of course, that June the 3rd court date for Scottie Scheffler, who needs to appear alongside his attorney, Stephen Romines. Now, I did reach out to Blake Smith, who is the agent, the manager for Scottie Scheffler. He is on site there at Colonial, and he said really no comment from him or Scottie Scheffler, that he's going to let the attorney do all the representation and speaking in regards to Scottie Scheffler. And Scottie's going to try to focus on golf.
All right, Todd, here once again is that video. This from the fixed pole camera just after 6 a.m. Keep an eye. The upper left on your screen will spot shadow that. There's Scottie's SUV coming to a stop. And there is the arresting officer, Brian Gillis, in the yellow jacket, leaning inside the driver's side window. And to reiterate what Stephen Romines, Scottie Scheffler's lawyer, said earlier today after the press conference with the mayor and the police chief, Scottie Scheffler didn't do anything wrong. All the evidence coming out, and Romines has seen this video, all the evidence coming out continues to support that. This will either be dismissed or will go to trial. Again, Scottie Scheffler didn't do anything wrong. They have no interest in settling the case. So there you see Scottie is now out of the car and he's being led away. Traffic at a standstill. And the second piece of video that has been made public comes from inside this police car and the dash cam. And Rex, what more do you have? Rex, go ahead.
Rich, when you look at the timing of this, according to the initial incident report, he was encountered Detective Gillis at about 6:02 a.m. But as we can now see from that dash cam footage, it was less than 2 minutes that he had this incident with the detective, tried to pull into the golf course, was pulled out of the vehicle, handcuffs were put on, and led to the vehicle. So you get an idea of how quickly that actually escalated. You can also see the ESPN reporter, Jeff Darlington, who broke this story, trying to speak with police, videotaping it. That's how we all found out that Scottie Scheffler had been arrested. And it also gives you an idea of A, how chaotic the situation was, and B, it paints a better picture. In the police report, it was described that Scottie Scheffler was coming to the golf course from the east. He was in the eastbound lane and went to avoid the traffic that was backed up from the previous accident into the westbound lane. That's why we cannot see exactly what happened when Scottie Scheffler first encountered Detective Gillis. They are behind a shuttle bus, which is stopped in traffic. So you don't get an idea of exactly what happened, but we do have a better idea of the timing of it.